Hello everybody! Happy Tuesday! Yay! Taco Tuesday? I had pasta. I made a little Trader Joe's ravioli type dish with a butternut squash and pumpkin sauce there. It was pretty good, I have to say. So, hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a great time tonight. I hope everybody got some sleep last night. I didn't. I don't know if you could tell. I'm such a junkie. Hey everybody, I am such a junkie when it comes to this stuff that I was up to 3 in the morning watching all the post-debate coverage. And tonight I did something interesting. I actually put on Fox News for a little bit. I watched O'Reilly Factor for 5 minutes. Yeah, in small doses I could take Fox News. So 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
I got through O'Reilly Factor for 5 minutes. And what I thought was interesting is O'Reilly is tearing into Donald Trump. Now, of course, they're really ripping Hillary Clinton, but going into Donald Trump because he's not fighting for all the things they want him to fight for. And they forget that he's not really a Republican or gives a crap about anything they give a crap about. So all those things they want him to fight for, you know, fighting for trickle-down economics, you know, oh, if we do tax breaks for the rich, the poor are going to do so much better, right? And all those kinds of things. Veterans, you know, and a lot of it makes sense. You know, you know, usually the Republican stance on pro-military family and all that stuff is usually great, right? And then they're getting on Hillary for bringing up stuff. So all day long, Donald Trump has been whining about why he totally failed last night, right? Why did the microphone was bad? I haven't heard anybody, including his family or anybody else, say, "Oh, we were in the audience, we couldn't hear you." On TV, it sounded fine. So it's not the mic. And then he said, "Hillary's getting nasty. Hillary's getting so nasty." And for Donald Trump to call somebody nasty, I'd say the whole, you know, pot calling the kettle black thing, but with Donald Trump, that just gets too racist. So, potentially. So, yeah, Donald to call anybody else nasty, and then to question, oh, where'd you find out about that? Oh, how do you know about that? Oh, my God. So, Donald, let me tell you about something called homework. I'm guessing Rich Daddy paid for everything. You didn't have to do homework. You didn't have to do well in school. You had a path laid out for you. The rest of us, for the most part, if we are successful, do a lot of homework. We do a lot of research. We do a lot of work to make sure what we want, what we need to know is known. And we keep digging until we find the answers we need to know. And all these things that Bill O'Reilly is wondering why you didn't go to the mats to defend the Republican platform, right? One, you have no clue what it is because you didn't even have the respect for your own party to know what your own party wants you to say and do, right? It's one thing to be the agent of change, but you can't be the agent of change if you have no fucking clue what the status quo was to begin with. So you got to at least know something to change it to something else. You can't just say, we're going to be great, we're going to change, we're going to do all this great stuff and have no clue what it is you're actually going to do. Hey, Patty, it sounds great to say that you're going to do something different. I think we all, I don't care what side, left, right, down the middle, like me, we all are begging for change. That's why you're doing so well. But if you could just vocalize one real plan, just one. And we're not talking about walls to Mexico, like a plan that makes sense. If you had one plan, other than talking about how great Putin is and all these other things, yeah, we understand we need better deals, but you have yet to say anything about what that would look like. So for anyone that's going like gung-ho, they've drunk the Kool-Aid, or they just hate Hillary Clinton so much they're going with you and they don't care how clueless you are. I get it. I'm idealistically centrist. I'm not a Hillary fan, but I've just listened and watched too much. And all the excuses today that Hillary's mean. Hillary's mean? Hillary's nasty? Oh my God. This guy can't take any criticism. Did he ever listen to himself? Apparently he doesn't, because she comes out with something and then says, oh, I never said that. And everyone in the world knows you did. Even your fans are like, yeah, we love you because you did say that, right? There are people that are following you like into the Kool-Aid pool are following you because of the things you said that she's calling you on, and you're like, no, I never said that. Not true. I'm sorry. It's bizarre. And to have all your pundits out there, oh, we think we won. Anybody that thinks Donald Trump won the debate last night has no clue about politics, which is probably a good people that don't respect politics or have a clue about politics are like, yeah, we don't want politicians. So, okay, we don't want politicians. We want leaders. Donald Trump is not a leader. Donald Trump is like the guy, like Hillary Clinton is like the high school debate team and has all of her preparation and research done, and Donald Trump is the ignorant jock standing on the side going, hey, you stupid dumb geeks, morons, hey, look at my hot girlfriend. Uh-oh, she gained 5 pounds. I got to move on to somebody else. Oh, I'm a fat fuck, but I can't have my girls be like that. So, oh, I'm sorry. I can't do the Trump. I got to pierce the lips and do the hair. This is the Trump. Do the Trump. Do the Trump. Ooh. So please, join in. I'm not here just to rant. I'm doing these daily, evening, every day, jumping on here for a few minutes, kind of sharing my feedback. And I tell you, I don't want to just get up here and shit on Trump. I have been looking. I'm dying. I am idealistically centrist. I am not a liberal. I am not, although compared to the alt-right and the Republican Party of today, they think I'm a liberal. My liberal friends think I'm a conservative. So you're all batshit crazy as far as I'm concerned. I'm right down the middle, but I'm looking for something so I can be fair and balanced. I even listened to Fox News for 5 minutes before getting disgusted. I'm sorry. I can listen to MSNBC and call shenanigans on the liberal bullshit, but I just can't even sit through Fox News. It's just so disgusting. Because the liberal bullshit's like, oh, we need to give away shit so that people aren't hungry and living on the streets and all this stuff. And it's, we can't afford to pay for it, I know. But it's coming from a good place. I don't know where all that stuff's coming from.
Fat shamed by Donald Trump was accused of threatening to kill a judge and be an accomplice to a murder bid by her native Venezuela.
What?
It's the Daily Fail. So you gotta take it with it.
Yeah. So, and apparently Trump won the debate according to all the polls.
No.
All the polls where you go online and just click, I like Trump, I like Trump, I like Trump, I like Trump, I like Trump. All the real polls, it wasn't even close. He lost by like 30, 40 points, right? Any real poll of any scientific value, he's down 30, 40 points. The polls on who won the debate. Who won the debate isn't so much important. I really predict very little is going to change because of last night. But what else did he say today? So it was the microphone. She was nasty. Lester Holt was giving him hard questions. He's basically going back to the George W. this is hard excuse. If he was tough on you, Trump, because he just wanted an answer, you have, 40 minutes, 45 minutes of non-answers. You insist on talking way past the 2 minutes, but full of nothing. And instead of saying, oh, yeah, Hillary, what about this? What about this? What about this? You say the Iranian deal, but you don't see anything of substance about it, right? Nothing. Conversation starter, 10 comments so far. Uh-oh, what is that? Christy is watching. Hey, Christy. What is that? Conversation starter, 10 comments so far? I don't know what Facebook's trying to tell me. So,
did you look at the comments?
They're all from you, mostly, I think. Yeah, they're all from you. It's hard work. Yeah, it's hard work. You know who did a lot of hard work preparing for the debate? Because you know why we prepare for the debate? You prepare for the debate because that's part of the process. It's almost like that's the midterm for the final, which is like the day you take office, right? And some point in the middle we vote and you may or may not get the job. But preparing for the debate is part of the process of preparing to be president. You go through, I don't know how you got through the Republican nomination process knowing so little. It's sad. There were a dozen guys that knew more than you and were better qualified to become president that actually could lead this country. Another 5 that were ridiculously horrible. We don't want them. Not that I want any of those guys, but you know, Jeb Bush, John Kasich, maybe that's really it. But then all these other guys that could have been, would have been better than you as a potential presidential debater, if nothing else. Certainly not a serious candidate. Out of the 17, it was probably the worst field ever. But there was experience there. You went in, destroyed the whole process. I'm still waiting for Trump to say, just kidding, Bill Clinton put me up to this. Haha, we gotcha. Still waiting for that to happen. Totally serious. If you're not going to do the homework for the debate, how can you expect for you to know what you need to know when you go into the room with Putin, when you go into the room with the Iranian delegation, or Israel, or Palestine, or Canada, or Mexico, or anybody else? We can't trust you to go into the room with Chris Christie without just bullying his lying sack of shit around, right? Yeah, he knew about Bridgegate. Big surprise there. We all knew it. It was going to come out eventually. And you use that to beat him in the primary. Thank God he didn't. I mean, thank God for Donald Trump, because we didn't get Chris Christie at this point. But any one of those guys, including Jim Gilmore, would have done a better job than you last night in the debate, would have known their shit, and could, at the very minimum, deliver the Republican line: lower taxes, blah, 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 less government, blah, 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 better military, yada, 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 right? Hillary tore you apart because she knew her stuff, and she stopped short of being the librarian. She was knowledgeable, and she got to the point. She landed a couple punches, not too hard. Apparently she was just mean, right? She's mean. God forbid she uses what you have said and done against you, right? Holy crap. You're just supposed to be immune to criticism because you can't take it, right? So, and again, for those who just keep hearing me rant about Trump, I'm begging Trump to give me a glimpse of hope, because I don't love Hillary Clinton. I went into last night saying if he did a good job, he could get my vote still. Totally serious. He could still get my vote. But he can't go 90 minutes without, you could see it. And everyone's saying, oh, did he not rehearse? He did rehearse. He was actually trying to make his face look serious without being judgmental. You could see it. But his subtext and his inner monologue betrayed him, because he's a narcissist and a sociopath, and he can't help himself. He can't help not letting those thoughts creep out. So that's why he would make the faces, right? He did rehearse. I believe he rehearsed in front of a mirror on what face to make, because it was kind of stiff. Did you notice when he first walked in, he kind of had the Frankenstein thing? I almost thought maybe he was sick. And then he started sniffling. I do want to say, though, okay, fair and balanced moment, okay? I made a joke about Donald Trump snorting cocaine last night because of all the sniffling. I made a joke about it. I don't really believe he is on cocaine. If anything that Trump says and his people say...
He really thought he was on cocaine.
Yeah, I know. And that's where I want to go with. Howard Dean was way out of line to bring that up. The tweet... And then to double down on it on TV and on multiple stations today, multiple news shows, saying, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he was on coke, but I'm not going to make, like, he said, oh, I'm not going to make that, as a doctor, you can't make that analysis. Oh. Excuse me. I think I caught whatever Hillary had. So, yeah, so I don't, he kept saying, oh, I'm not going to make that prognosis. And then he kept saying, I think he's on coke. And so Howard Dean is a sack of shit. But that's why he wasn't president. He was crazy. He was the Donald Trump of the Republican Party in 2004, I think, right? It was 2004. So, hey, Karen's up, yo, what? So, I'm begging Trump, show me something, because what's happening, because you're so bad at what you do. You're so bad at what you do. We're not getting the debate of ideas that we need. We're not getting. America is the one suffering because of your ignorance and arrogance. And not just because you're going to be a horrible president if you're elected. That has nothing to do with it. America needs a debate of ideas. It's been 8 years at least, if not 16 or more, since Congress has been a place to debate ideas. Congress has failed us. We need these 3 debates, or potentially, say what you want about Romney. Romney Obama in 2012 had 3 debates, and you could argue who won, who lost, yada, yada, yada. Romney took the first, Obama took the second 2, they say. But we had a solid discourse. You know, they didn't agree on a whole lot, but they respectfully went after each other in a professional debate manner. And I'm sorry, Hillary did that last night. Hillary did that last night, and if she went too far, it's because you jumped on every piece of bait that she put out there for you. You're the biggest piece of fish to ever sit in the wannabe Oval Office debate place, right? The only person who may have looked worse was Nixon in 1960, but he knew his shit. He just didn't know how to communicate it on TV, right? You can't blame him. He was up against Kennedy, a much younger, better-looking guy who understood the new media. You understand the new media, right? Supposedly. But the problem is you're a reality star, not an actor. You're a game show host. You're not somebody who gets into the nitty-gritty of what goes on. You're surface, shallow, empty shell of an old man. I'm sorry, and I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean. I'm like begging you to do your homework. So in 12 days, we get the next one, right? The next debate's in 12 days. We have an actual debate of ideas. I'm hoping the vice presidential debate is an actual debate of ideas, right? Pence and, oh crap, brain farting. Mike Pence and the other guy from Virginia, Hillary's VP. That's what happens when you become VP. Nobody remembers you. Anywho, so unless you're Sarah Palin, you know, unless you say something. Oh, Tim Kaine, sorry, Tim Kaine. Yes, it's on there. There's just too much. And again, I've been watching the news. I was watching last night, and I was watching a lot of Republican strategists saying, "Why are we in this place? We are in this place. They want." And again, I'm a former Republican. There's a part of me that really wants the Republican Party to make a comeback. You know, not come back into power, come back from the abyss that the alt-right has taken the GOP, right? The Tea Party, the alt-right, forget racism. The crazy right wing that thinks their Christianity is the only Christianity, yada, 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 right? However you want to say about those folks, and it's about 10, 15, 20% of the population total. It's probably about 30% of the Republican Party, though, of the true Republican Party, because folks like me left. We gave up on you. But I still want a Republican Party that is strong with great ideas, right? Hey, Nikki, what's up? No madness. Nikki was requesting chess music earlier. I almost wanted to go on with the piano today. I just do it. Though the sad powers may prevail, can possess honor my country's heart, they rise to fail. Yay! So, I'll cross over borders, yet I'm still there now. Alright. Yo, bring it, Russell Sunday. What? I miss my buddy Russell. And so 25 comments so far. Conversation starter. So conversation starter, what do you want to see from Donald Trump? I'm kind of curious. What could Donald Trump do to make anyone here say he could be my president? The bar for me is actually pretty low. Yeah, the problem with this kind of thing, I am always the guy that goes in the day of and flips a coin. Not totally flips a coin, but gut. I go with the gut the day of. I am 100% leaning to Hillary right now. I'm not saying I'm ever going to vote for Trump, but there's still so much out there we don't know that could come out in the next, 8 weeks, not even, right? 6 weeks till the elections. In the next 6 weeks, something could happen. The Republicans could actually turn up something that is true about Hillary Clinton and all their conspiracy nut job theories, right? There's a part of me that wants to launch this huge Gary Johnson, but my wife's father is from Aleppo, and I think that's impossible. So, in fact, that he didn't know what Aleppo was. So, I don't know. But yeah, I'm so disgusted with the whole process. And I'm a comedian. I've been having a lot of fun making fun of Donald Trump the last 18 months. But the last 3 months or so, it just hasn't been funny. Like the week after the convention, that's where it kind of like climaxed for me. And I'm just like burnt out on doing Donald Trump jokes. It feels so hackish at this point. That's why these podcasts of mine are not really funny, or these live Facebooks and Periscopes I've been doing. I don't feel funny. I feel funny, but that's a different story. I don't feel funny about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, it's not funny. It's sad. I really believe there's a mental issue with Donald Trump. He is incapable. I look funny. I'm funny looking. I smell funny, too. Larissa is like going crazy with the emojis. So, anyone else have comments? Any questions for me and my incredibly hard centrist views? I'm very hard in the center. Not in my belly. I'm jelly. I got both. Oh, yes. And pity the child who has his weapons. No escape from the child. I forget the words. Just because he said yes. Yeah. I really shouldn't be singing that song. Definitely much more the Russian. Those have done, yeah. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But yeah, the neighbor, I do have the window open. Hey, anybody like this new blanket? I have like a little prettier. I got the dogs back here. And so I think I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go watch Gotham from last night because I didn't watch that. And then we have S.H.I.E.L.D. tonight. I'm always going to be a comic, well, not a comic book, but a superhero geek. And I need a break from the politics. I hope you all are having fun. But do me a favor. I just beg, if anybody watches this, if you're watching live now, you're watching this in 3 weeks because you had nothing better to do at 2 in the morning and you stumbled onto this crap, please, 1, plan on voting. 2, be informed when you do. And not just on the presidential ballot. Go down ballot. Really know who you're pulling the lever for. And, I know S.H.I.E.L.D., last week's S.H.I.E.L.D. with the Ghost Rider, that was pretty cool. I'm pretty hyped about it. And what's her name? Quake. Coming into her own and into the real Quake character is pretty damn cool. So, yeah, educate yourselves. Don't just listen to the party line. Don't just listen to what your parents are saying, or your friends are saying. Educate yourself, because I guarantee it, 99% of what your friends and parents and everybody else is saying is from a place of ignorance. I'm telling you, because the people I love and respect are just have drunk the Kool-Aid, and they're not talking about anything that has anything to do with what's going on right now. Party loyalty, great and all. I appreciate party loyalty, but not this year. And I am, if ever there was a year to really search your soul and educate yourself on what's really going on out there, because there's so much there's so many layers of crap to cut through, right? and I don't have any or all the answers. I have a lot of opinions. I watch a lot, but I don't want anybody to listen to me and be swayed, except to educate yourself and vote. Everybody needs to vote, and we need more people that are in the middle to get loud like me. Maybe not as loud as me because I'm really fucking loud. So, but get loud, get opinionated, because the crazies on the left and right are way too loud and opinionated, right? If we get loud in the middle, we might be able to drown them out, because there's more of us. There are more of us than them. The silent majority is not the crazy left or right. It never was. The silent majority are the people in the middle that just want things to be cool and peaceful and like make sense. And then you have all these idiots screaming on the far left, the far right, and we just give up. And we think, oh, let's not get involved with the process. But that's when they take over. That's why the Tea Party has taken over the Republican Party. That's why the alt-right is going to overtake the Tea Party. Not that some of them, a lot of overflow, a lot of overlap, almost the same people. But the people that are too crazy, that think the Tea Party is too centrist, they're now taking over, right? They're running Donald Trump's campaign. The guy from Breitbart, right? These folks are running Donald Trump's campaign. So, who knows? You know, again, it's not even so much who the president's going to be. What's his team? Who's going to be the people in the cabinet surrounding him? And what are we going to do if this Congress ends up with Donald Trump as president? There's a lot of things to think about there. And
just even the Taliban watched the presidential debate.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Taliban. It's like the one time they got drunk, because, you know, they don't drink if they're truest, like, purists. And but they were getting drunk, saying, "Ooh, Trump!" I don't do impersonation, so I apologize if I offended anybody of Islamic faith. But Taliban's, you know, that's not necessarily Islam. That's you know, a bunch of murderous thugs from Afghanistan. Just like ISIS is not Islam. A bunch of murderous thugs from Syria or Iraq or Saudi Arabia or anywhere, you know, they're all over the place. A few from Jersey now, apparently. So, Afghanistan's from Jersey, but Afghanistani. So, I could go on and on and on, and I do. I usually do. And, but it's 9 o'clock, and I'm going to go watch some TV.
The Taliban spokesman,
my researcher,
said, told NBC that Trump says anything that comes to his tongue and labeled him as non-serious.
Oh, the Taliban thinks Trump is non-serious. Well, now we have a very well-educated opinion.
There's interest in the debate, as both of them said little about Afghanistan and their future plans for the country.
That's true. There's very little to go. Well, they both are kind of advocating non-involvement, right? Of course, like we were talking about yesterday, Trump wants us to not be a police state, but he wants to take all the oil like an imperial force. So you can't, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is the real world. You don't have to agree. I don't agree with everything Hillary says, but Trump has given us nothing to agree with. Nothing. Zip. There is nothing on his website where you could say, oh, that's what he means. That's what he's going to do. We have all these people, these pundits, that try to explain what he means, but then they say, well, I'm not, you have to go to Donald Trump to get the real details, but this is what he's trying to say. And they can't even translate what he's saying, because they have no clue what he's saying. Did you watch Chris Christie last night? Chris Christie, I watched him on tape delay after I did my little podcast last night. Chris Christie, who we found out yesterday also was called out in court. He is too. He wants it and will throw tantrum. That's right. He is too. Like 2 years old. Yeah. He wants it. Will throw tantrum. Yeah. That's the one thing we know he will do. That's the only thing. The only thing we know Donald Trump will do is he'll be in the White House and in the Oval Office, and then just start like trying to get in a Twitter battle with Pakistan or Russia or France, or England, and said, "Oh, the Brits." We showed them in 1776, stupid Brits. It's disgusting. It's kind of like the kind of jokes guys made or still make in New York at bars and when they're all by themselves and You know, I grew up hanging out with certain people and hearing blonde jokes or Jewish jokes or Puerto Rican jokes or Polish jokes or all these things. And they really haven't been funny. They were never funny. They really haven't been acceptable in a long time. We've raised the bar on comedy. Comedy became a profession of stand-up comedy specifically. With comedy has always been out there for over 100 years, but modern comedy has become a profession since the 60s, really, where they had nothing, place where you just do comedy, not just doing some comedy in between music, right? And variety shows, straight comedy shows, 4 or 5 comics, or one comic doing 90 minutes. That's relatively new. But since that started, we've raised the expectations on comedy. We've gotten smarter. We can't just do Three Stooges anymore. We have to be smarter because, we are a smarter world now. So we can't just go into a bar and make blonde jokes. It's not funny anymore. And they never were funny, except to the guys. They're basically making jokes because they can't get a certain blonde in bed, so we're going to make jokes about her and call her dumb. No, she's smart for not letting you take her to bed. Okay, they're very smart, and they're not. I don't even want to go into it. Not to defend blondes, Bill bimbos and stuff, but no, it's like this bar, like Bush. We let him get away with saying, yeah, we'll go have a beer with Bush. He seems like a great guy to have a beer with. I don't even want to have a beer with Donald Trump. I don't want to see in the same room with Donald Trump. I was on the same TV show. I was on the David Letterman show with Donald Trump, and he came in with 4 of the Miss Universe gals back in 07 or whatever it was, and I thought he was a schmuck then. He was a schmuck. If you haven't met him in person, he's the biggest schmuck you ever met, and now he's just an asshole, arrogant, ignorant, and I'm begging him to step it up so that we can have a real debate, because this country needs a real debate of ideas. Not the left, not the right, just screaming. We need a real debate. We need a real discussion, and maybe we can actually find something in the middle that makes sense. Because what happens now doesn't make sense on either side. I'm sorry, and I'm actually a fan of Obama, but plenty of problems there. What's going on in Syria, it is kind of his fault. Not all his fault, but a lot of it is. Because I understand nobody wanted to go back into war, but it was handled poorly. You can't blame him 100% because you couldn't see all this happening, but some people did. Some people did, and they weren't listening. They just didn't want to go back into war. And I didn't want to go back into war, so I was kind of with him at the time. So I'm not saying anything. I'm not pretending to be Trump and like I knew anything at the time. But there is some truth to the fact that where we are right now does have, there is some fault with Obama and Clinton as to why we are where we are now. Although I believe Clinton would not have let happen what happened. Clinton is actually far more hawkish. Clinton, when they crossed the red line, would have done something. Clinton, when they bombed the envoy last week, would have done something. So, Bill Clinton never had a problem with bombing something, a strategic strike. Never sent in troops, but a lot of strategic strikes. The only time they did send in troops didn't go so well, but, right, was it Clinton, Black Hawk Down and all that? Yeah, I don't want to depress anybody. I want to be hopeful. The good thing is the world is not as nearly as bad as anybody thinks it is. Those of us who watch too much 24-hour news, it seems a lot worse than it is. Was it? He has no place to judge anyone else. Oh, people are saying that convoy wasn't really an aid convoy. Who's people?
I've seen a lot of people saying it wasn't real. It was a fake. They were actually the rebels disguised as a
with the UN shirts. Who's people though? Who's saying that?
All over.
Conspiracy theorists or news?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff on the internet saying that.
I thought it's been pretty much proven that they were UN.
Smoke screen.
I don't know about that. That's that what Russia's saying, and then
no, like people in comment sections and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't trust. I haven't seen anything in the news that suggests that, or anything. Hey, how you doing, Rachel? Yeah, who knows? And that's part of the problem. You know, news is not news anymore. Journalism is not news anymore. It's all subjective. It's all slanted. So do the research. Don't listen to one TV channel all the time and take it as truth. Do what I did. I turned on Fox News for 5 minutes. Couldn't stand it, but I wanted to get the other side. Just especially before coming on to talk to you guys, I wanted to see both sides, what's really going on out there. Learned almost nothing new from Bill O'Reilly, which is nothing new. But I also needed a break from MSNBC because the liberal rant gets tiresome as well. I can stand, like I said, I could stand the liberal rant and sift the important information out of it and roll my eyes at the stuff like the partisan crap. But what's interesting about MSNBC, they have a lot of Republican strategists who have worked for Bush and Romney and all these other people. And some of them are voting for Trump, but they're completely flabbergasted at how bad he is doing. How can you not prepare for debate? Preparing for the debate is one of the big steps in preparing to be president. That's exactly what Hillary said. There's no other way to say it. And listen, guys, I'm going to check it out. I'll see you guys soon. Have fun. We'll see you guys tomorrow night.